always something. It's always one little thing.
So, howdy. What you were saying, you just taught yourself HTML2 and designed a website for the store?
I did.
That's fantastic,
Yep.
Johnny.
Yep.
That
Sure is.
that brings us squarely into the 21st century, doesn't it?
It does. So, glad I got here 20 minutes early.
Hello? Last video store on the left? Ugh, I know. I wasn't even supposed to work today. And someone jammed gum in the locks. You're right. Savages.
You weren't even supposed to be here today?
No, it's my day off.
Yeah, you don't get a day off.
Whatever. I was going to take a day off.
This is the only day we're ever here. Mondays is the only day we're ever open.
That's
So,
not true.
I mean, it feels
We're
like
open
it.
in people's hearts.
Okay, well, now you're just taking that too far.
This is my favorite video store today.
Oh, Mayor.
Hey, Mayor. Hey, you guys looking spry.
Oh, thanks. I've been working out.
Have you?
No.
I'm working out my liver.
I don't know if that's such a good idea.
I'm working out my liver from different types of drinks.
Oh, well, what's in the paper bag today?
Oh, you'd love to know what's in paper bags.
I
wouldn't
would. Yeah, that's why I
You?
asked.
You like paper bags? Today it's called Drunk Witch.
Whoa.
It's I did double take when he told me to. I was like, wait, you talking to me? He said it's called Drunk Witch, and it's 2 ounces of vodka, 2 ounces of blue curacao, and 2 ounces of grenadine, and a splash of Sprite, because for the kids.
It's not bad, Mayor. I think that they did you right
Like
this
that?
time.
It's tasty, all right. I'm giving my colon a workout.
Oh, okay. Well, you know where to find the key.
Okay, I'm gonna go in the back.
All right.
Bye there.
Sorry, Johnny. Sorry.
Oh, it's all that grenadine. Oh, that's slippery. That's nice.
It is. It's good. I can't imagine too much more sugar in there, though, right?
Yeah, that Sprite might have taken it way over the top.
Yeah. So that was pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Hey,
Welcome.
I'm gonna hide
Welcome.
really quick. I'm just
Okay.
gonna hide behind. Yeah, I took. Okay, so the parking cops are after me. And so I just need to hide really quick. I'll talk to you.
All right. Well,
sure. Get down.
but you can just
There's
go.
plenty of racks to hide behind.
Yep. Or behind this, cardboard cutout of R2D2.
Yeah, and C-3PO, his buddy.
Yeah, I mean, it's big enough. You can just duck down behind there if you want.
Thanks. I'm just gonna be really interested in the titles on the bottom of the
Oh,
shelf.
sure.
Oh my God, you guys sell videos?
Absolutely.
Shut the fuck up.
No,
Whoa.
we are a
What?
rental. We are the last video store on the left.
What?
I know. So when you leave after hiding from the cops, we will let you rent a movie. So you can rent a movie before you leave.
Okay, listen, you're doing me a solid. And they're not like cops. Like, I'm not like an actual fugitive. I'm just like, they're parking cops. So like people who weren't good enough to like become real cops.
Ouch.
Ooh.
You know?
Shots
so-
fired.
Those are,
Shots fired. They have nothing better to do than stalk me out the second I'm late, like 1 second. So anyway, just gonna
You know what?
Here.
We might have a movie to help you get your mind off things then. Because I think that there are some things worse than being stalked by traffic cops, don't you?
I think so. Oh, I mean, what? Not at all.
They just drove by the window. They literally just drove by the window.
See, they're onto you.
Oh my
They
God.
are
Oh my God.
onto you
I'm just
right
gonna
now.
sit behind R2D2.
I
and
think that's a
look
good
super
idea.
They
Cool.
are
Yeah.
coming for you. You
Yeah.
are not kidding.
Yeah. I mean, that was scary, but you know what would be even scarier?
Witches.
Oh my God.
Flying
Witches. Oh, flying witches are the worst because like
Worst.
yeah, they have like magic powers and stuff. They're not like your
Oh, yeah.
everyday
Oh,
witch.
well, whoa. Then we have a movie for you.
Okay, sell me.
Yeah. 1990? 89. 89. 1989 classic.
Warlock.
With Julian Sands.
Wow.
I know.
I have no idea who that is.
Hopefully, not God rest his soul.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he's holed up.
Yeah, right
like,
now
cuddling
he's
up with the bear. Or something.
he's missing in California. He went for a hike. few weeks ago, and
He hasn't been seen
Hasn't
since.
been
And
seen
there's been
since.
massive search parties in California.
yeah, his car. They found his car.
Get out.
No,
Yeah.
this is real. This is true.
the
And
thing.
it's why we recently watched this movie, and we think that it will fit your situation.
Like, how many parking tickets do you have to fake your own death in the mountains?
You know what
Or
I mean?
did they disappear him?
Right?
Oh my God.
I think that we've uncovered something here that's just been brewing on the surface for a while. We
Okay.
don't know how deep this goes.
Deep.
I have a theory,
Yeah.
and it's kind of in the middle of the movie, but I think the coyotes got him back.
Ooh, the coyotes.
The Coyotes got him back.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Because they got blamed for one of his.
Yep,
That's
they
right.
sure did.
Ouch.
That kid was in a bunch of stuff.
He was.
Yeah, but we'll
Yeah.
get to that. So, well, let us tell you about it. We're going to tell you about
Yeah, I'm open.
this
I have an
movie
open
Warlock.
mind.
Julian Sands was a big actor for a long time in the well,
He was in like culty
ish,
stuff. He was,
culty,
yeah, like he was known.
he was a working actor for like 25 years.
Gotta
He was
respect
known.
that. You gotta respect that.
Yeah.
I don't know who he is, but good for the kid, you know?
Yeah, he's a blonde British man.
It's not helping.
He was a good-looking blonde
English.
British man.
He was.
Yeah.
He was kind of his days Tom Hiddleston.
Oh my God, I have no
Okay.
idea who that is either.
Wow.
Do I live under a
Loki?
rock?
Yes.
Loki from the Marvel
Avengers?
movies.
Rings
Okay.
a bell.
All right.
I read a lot of books.
That's all right.
I'm not saying
You
that's
might-
better. It's just what I do.
You might recognize some faces in this movie Warlock when you watch it. It starts off a little morbid. They're going to be burning witches in 1691,
Well, they're not
15.
they don't burn anybody.
They
Thank God.
don't,
But,
but they-
right when you see those Puritan bastards walking through the city, you're
They
just
put
like,
cats
oh,
in a
mud.
basket and then go put it on a pyre. Like they're gonna
What?
burn. I know. That
Leave
was.
the
I was
cats
really upset.
alone.
That's the thing that stuck with me upon this, like multiple watchings of this movie is the cats in a basket at
Oh,
the
you know
beginning.
who he played? He was the doctor in Arachnophobia that
Yeah,
went to South
yeah.
America to
Yeah.
get the spiders.
Oh, that
And you
doesn't
thought he
help.
would be evil because you saw him in Warlock,
Right.
but he turned out to be benign.
He was a good dude.
See, working character actor. He knows what he's doing. He's going to mix it up.
Yep.
He-
So
He was.
Oh, he was in Naked Lunch.
yeah, and Naked Lunch was so good.
You like
You're
books?
a reader.
Naked
I
Lunch.
am
William
a reader.
Burroughs.
Yes, I'm
right. Isn't that a Burroughs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm a reader.
Naked Lunch sounds dirty.
It isn't. It's really
He
weird.
was.
Huh.
The main guy, wasn't he?
No, that was
No.
Peter Weller.
Oh, was he the exterminator?
Yes, Peter Weller
Was the exterminator. Okay,
He
you're
was,
right. He was.
Yves Cloquet. Whoever that is. I don't know. I don't remember.
Say that again.
I don't think.
Cloquet.
No, don't encourage
But
this.
Boxing Helena was great. That was like a nice little indie fair in the 90s. That
He was in
fun.
all of these, weird movies from the 90s.
Artistic movies.
Art
and
house.
stuff.
Did we call them art house films in the 90s?
I think so.
He was in Leaving Las Vegas.
Okay. Okay. That's a film I know.
I didn't see that one. Yeah.
Too mainstream.
Yeah, I feel like it was too mainstream. So they set the scene of these Puritans in America in the early days, about to burn witches.
They look like pilgrims.
Right.
The whole whole shebang.
And then they go up into this tower where they have someone in thumb screws. Thumb screws are where your thumbs are screwed into little holes, and then like
The like.
metal locks,
Yeah.
and then the other end of the metal lock is screwed to your toes.
What?
Yeah.
Kinky shit.
Yeah, who put this up? Like, what a job. We're like, we need a
Puritans.
torturer. Right? Yeah, the Puritans. Yeah, that's how they got off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was really impressed with the set. I was impressed with that like dank tower that they were all walking up
Yeah.
into. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is some scary like budget. This is a budget.
Yeah.
Did you notice the guy from Seinfeld was one of the pilgrims?
Mr. Pitt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. Pitt was like one of the
He's one
main
of the
pilgrims.
pilgrims.
Yeah,
It's
we
awesome.
totally commented on it. And it's what's his name? Who's the guy who plays the witch hunter?
Oh, what was his character's name? Was Redfern.
Redfern.
Redfern. It's oh crap! It's damn it!
He reminded me of the guy from Critters,
He's in.
the bounty
yeah,
hunter
yeah,
from
yeah.
Critters.
He's in With
It's-
Nail and I. It's
Yeah.
what's his name?
It's not the same dude, but
no. It's
He's very famous.
Richard E. Grant.
Yes, Richard E.
He was in
Grant.
4 Weddings and a Funeral.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And With Nail and I, and then the other one that we watched, How to Get Ahead in Business. No,
Yeah, with the other with Nell and I director.
yeah, that was so weird. It was
Yeah.
also a real weird film.
Yeah.
Anyway, Richard E. Grant's great. He plays a witch hunter, and so the Warlock Julian Sands, who's in the thumbscrews in the tower
Poor guy.
in 1691.
Is he a witch? Or is he a witch
He's a
sympathizer?
warlock.
Was he a
He's a warlock.
Is a male
Okay.
witch.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
he's the
Yeah,
warlock.
Julian
He is the
Sands is in the
warlock.
thumbscrews. He's the
They're
warlock.
gonna put him to death.
They're
Oh my
gonna
God,
burn
it's like
him.
me with the traffic cops.
It
I
is.
see the parallels. You guys are
Not
good
yet.
at what you do.
Not yet. We'll get there. Wait, it gets worse.
Okay.
So here comes the witch hunter, the warlock
No, they're-
hunter.
they're-
What is
they're-
he?
They give him some time to think about what he's done and what's going to happen to him, and then Redfern comes to say some nasty words to him, and then that's when the skies turn black, and his overlord saves him with a time-traveling tornado and wisps him away from the toe shackles.
Yeah, the warlock gets sucked through a time.
So the bounty hunter gets sucked away with him to the 1990s.
Yeah.
Of course.
To L.A.
Where
Modern day
else?
LA.
Modern
day
day.
LA.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Yep.
Because where else would you would go with it?
Now I have probably an annoying question. When he gets whisked away in the tornado and time travels to modern day LA, does he still have the
Yes.
toe
Mhm.
screws?
He does.
So he's still in
Yeah.
them. Okay.
Yeah, those fuckers don't like it.
Yeah, that's what I was. I was like, that would be a
They're
really
like-
convenient way. Like, oh, tornado wins, but
They make
okay.
it
Like
halfway
nipple
through the
clamps.
movie.
Yeah.
Those things make it all the way to like Colorado.
They're indestructible, those fucking things.
All right.
They get him halfway into him again in Colorado, but he gets out of them because he's a
He's
wily warlock. A wily warlock.
Wily warlock.
He tries to catch that roadrunner, but he just can't do it.
Yeah. So he. What happens first? Where does he end up? Where does he land?
He lands in a house, and it's,
Yeah, they think it's like a part of a storm, and
Yeah.
it's like some kind of electrical storm. He goes through the front window,
and
cuts himself up.
it's a gay gentleman, and he kind of took an astray, who is kind of off-brand Gina Davis. Did you guys get that vibe?
No. And what
No?
else has she been in?
Never seen.
Now, Laurie Singer, who is the female lead in Footloose, plays this girl. That's where she's best known for.
Yep.
Okay.
So the
I think
female
she's
lead in
Mark- I think
this.
she's Mark Singer's sister.
Hmm.
Maybe there's no.
We're gonna have to talk about the problematic aspects of this film.
Oh, I mean, 1989. I feel
Yeah.
like
It gets bad.
okay.
Yeah, it gets
Okay.
bad.
Well, it's just some bad dialogue.
No, it's some bad
Was-
writing.
Was the gay gentleman have to be into antiques so much?
I know.
Oh, it wasn't that got me. It was, what did he ask?
They were
Yeah.
at the police station.
Yeah.
And she says, he's gay, not queer. And we're
Big
like,
difference.
big
That's what she said.
difference.
She goes, he's
And I'm
gay,
like, what
not
the fuck
queer.
are you talking about?
Yeah, big difference. Because they accused him of like trolling in bathrooms.
Right.
Like
Okay,
it was like
no.
it was
he
like
gets-
bad
because he
gay
gets killed.
stereotypes.
He gets
Yeah.
killed by the warlock.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's in the police station.
And then they're like, well, we want to know who he was bringing
Right.
home, like
Right.
what kind of boyfriend.
We're not taking his that seriously because obviously he's gay and blah, 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 blah,
Right,
blah.
it's 1989.
Oy vey.
Yeah,
I know.
so.
It's
But then when
there's
she
some
comes
moments.
out with that thing about gay, not queer, both of us are like, but what is that?
What does it mean?
Like you feel like someone in the writer's room was like, "Let's make everything okay. He's gay, not queer," and they totally missed the mark. Like someone was trying so hard. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, that's a little problematic. But she has this bad orange wig
But
for
it's
most
not,
of the movie.
It's not as problematic as it is just silly and stupid, and you're just like, what?
Ignorant. They were just ignorant.
It's 1989.
They were
Yeah.
ignorant.
You know, probably a lot of, no offense, straight cis white writers. You know what I mean?
Those
Male
don't exist
writers.
in Hollywood in 1989.
Wait, it gets better. So the warlock comes back to the house because what happens?
No, because
He
has
kills the roommate. Then the girl goes back to the house to get her stuff.
Can we talk about how he kills the roommate?
Please.
Oh yeah, I forget.
Because it was weird.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
remember.
No,
I
because-
tuned that out. I
You
obviously
blocked
like
it out.
exactly.
You're like, too much.
So the guy had like a big gay ring on.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the
Wow.
warlock is
Wow.
like, I need that ring.
He's a Scorpio, and it was like a big ring of like an actual scorpion inside some kind of a goo or whatever. some
Oh,
kind
I
of
thought it was
Yeah.
like a family ring and that he
No.
took it because it had some meaning. I
He
thought that it had.
literally
I
says
thought
I'm a
it
Scorpio.
had like mystical powers.
Oh my
but-
God! Yeah, I
He
thought
just
he
liked
was.
it
He
because
just
it was a
liked
cool
it.
scorpion,
Yeah.
and he's a warlock, and warlocks
But he's
like scorpions.
he's like checking the ring out, and the
That's
guy's
right.
like making dinner,
Right.
And he's like chopping stuff.
He's like,
up.
I would let you try it
Yeah.
on, but my finger's broken, and this ring doesn't come off anymore.
Oh,
And
no.
for a ring that doesn't come off anymore, it's pretty big.
Yeah.
And so the warlock just takes the butcher's knife out of nowhere, chops the finger off, and the guy's like freaking out. And then he like grabs him and
Yeah, and he bites his tongue. He kisses him.
kisses him and
tongue
bites
off.
his tongue off.
Throws
and
it,
like,
spits it in
in
the
a frying pan.
yeah.
But then you don't know what happens because you come back to the house later and there's a crime scene. There's blood everywhere.
Yeah. So it was. I forgot how brutal it was
Yeah.
until we recently
no.
watched it. So I was like, okay, this is what's happening. This is happening. And then she comes back to the house, and the cops are like, don't they tell her?
You made her leave, and she's like, "You gotta watch, time me."
Yeah,
But
she
Lori
makes a
S-
big deal about getting
Lori
out
Singer
real
does
quick.
it in a way where you're like, "Oh God."
But she goes in,
Gotta
and
get those clothes, man.
but she
Those
goes in and starts.
1980s
It's
clothes.
written right. Men
Oh
are
my
like the
God.
chick needs her
She's some
stuff.
kind of a-
Yeah.
she's
And
some
it's
kind
all
of
the like floofiest,
Yeah.
froofiest pink.
I need
Because-
my boa. I need my
Because the same,
pretend
the
pearls.
same white guys that wrote the gay line, they're like, well, she's a designer, so we're gonna write her some really crazy women designs. Women wear this stuff, right?
And in her room, it has all these pink dresses, this like pink crinolines, like stapled to the
Yeah.
walls with like fairy lights in them and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
look, she's a girl and she likes pink.
Every
there's
woman
so much
has
pink.
pink crinolines
And-
stapled to their walls,
And it's
right?
all she keeps shoving into her one suitcase is like all of these like club clothes. She's just grabbing like all of her desperately seeking Susan
costume
club
clothes.
clothes.
And the cops left.
Yeah.
In the time. She's like, time me.
Took too
And
long.
they're like, fuck this.
You're on your own, lady.
you.
Need
Yeah.
some chicken.
I don't
Yeah,
care
yeah.
if a killer.
I don't
Like,
think
we
I-
told you not to go in there.
Yeah. No, I don't want to identify with the warlock anymore because initially I was like, "Oh, this guy's being
No,
hunted."
you're identifying with being hunted by the warlock.
Yep, the
Right.
warlock's
The
after
parking,
you.
the
Okay.
parking officials are the warlock.
I'm
Yeah.
more comfortable with that.
Yeah,
comparison.
it's true. Because he's not a good guy.
He doesn't have powers if he's chewing people's tongues off. Like, get creative.
He's
So
sexy,
this is
though. He is a sexy guy.
why he comes back. He comes back to put together the Grand Grimoire. It's like the Book of the Dead
It's the
that
Bible for the devil.
can reverse
But
creation.
it's a spell book, and it's like the original.
And it
can't
had
be
been
destroyed.
split
Okay.
into parts and separated around the world, and he's going to find the pieces. And one of them happens to be in their house.
At that point, he doesn't even know that yet.
He
does
doesn't?
No, he doesn't. He finds this out after he leaves.
Oh.
So he leaves and goes to a
medium.
soothsayer, a
The
medium,
soothsayer.
who is played by
Mary Warnoff.
our favorite actress.
Our favorite B actress
who's
who's
been in everything we've watched so far,
Yeah,
basically.
we should rename our video store the Mary Warnoff store.
she's a terrible actress.
Why is she
Not.
working so much? Uh-oh.
Well, in this,
She has a
she's
look. She has an
borderline.
80s look.
I
Big
don't
bangs.
blame her. I don't blame her in this. I blame the
Broad.
director.
Broad.
I blame the director for a lot of shit that flew.
She
in
knew
this.
what she was in
She did.
because she played it up.
Yeah,
She played it up.
Hey, look. Regardless of anything, this is some real campy '90s fun.
It is
really
campy
is.
90s fun. It is so fun.
And she's playing a medium, so she had to camp it up extra for that.
And there's some really kind of, her effects are probably the best in the movie.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Some of her effects. So they make her face in
Like a demon.
she gets possessed by his master
Right.
and speaks through her and she gets these demon teeth and these black eyes and big cheekbones and a forehead.
Yeah,
It's
like,
pretty
like
cool.
a real housewife, just like a real
Right.
housewife.
Right.
Actually, it's true. Big fake teeth.
But it's funny because
It's
you know,
amazing.
she's like faking him. She's a fake, you know. She's like, "Oh, I'll tell you what you need to know," and she sits him down. He's a warlock. He don't have time for fake.
No.
He's just waiting. He's counting his minutes before shit happens, and then he's like, "This is not what I came here for." And then finally, she's like, "Oh, something's wrong. You know, I feel like I get a little chill or something." And then all of a sudden, boom! Now, she's got Satan in her.
Can't bullshit a bullshitter.
Yeah. So
You
she
know?
was in Night of the Comet.
Night of the Comet.
She was in
Who's the other
Get
one?
Crazy, which
no that we've watched recently.
we'll get back to that.
Oh, Get Crazy.
She was in something else.
Yeah. Thanks.
And
Good job.
she was in Eating Raoul.
I mean that we've watched recently. Anyway,
I
never
forget,
mind.
But it's like every movie we've watched.
There she
she's been in
was.
it. And she's born in the Breakers Hotel in 1943.
Wait.
Yep.
In
Get
Palm Beach?
out.
Yep. Palm Beach.
What?
In the hotel.
How do you know that?
I looked her up on IMDb.
Okay. All right.
My claim
He's
to
a
fame.
genius, that's
Well, so is she born in like the servants' halls or what?
I don't know.
mean, that's
Maybe
like.
it's a room.
I mean, because my
19
partner
it was
here,
4 times.
he has some relatives that were born in a castle.
Oh,
That's
right.
right.
Yeah, you know, upstairs, downstairs. Though let's talk
Right.
about it.
Right.
That's
Right.
why I asked about the breakers.
It's within the moat, though, right?
Huh?
It
It
was
was in
within-
with yes, it was within the moat. It sure was.
Yeah.
We couldn't cross it to go get a good picture. So
So she was in
anywho,
Dick Tracy. Is that the other one?
No.
no,
She was in Dick Tracy.
Holy shit.
So basically,
Wow.
this is our connection to the world.
she's our 6 degrees of all of our movies.
Yeah.
Who knew she was in like
Oh,
every
right.
movie in the
Is she
80s?
pulling the strings? Like, what's happening?
That's funny.
Why? What else was she in? But she was in Dick Tracy.
I thought we saw her in something because we're like, oh my god,
We
there's the
did. We
lady.
did.
What else have we watched recently?
I forget.
Me too.
She had a
It's too
great
much.
agent. We can agree on that.
Yeah.
She was a great agent.
Was she in Over the Top?
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
Okay.
I don't remember in that. But she's been in a lot. I knew her from Eating Raoul, which was like an underground
Right.
hipster movie.
Yeah.
It was very popular. But there was a gentleman that she was in that movie with that's also in a lot of the movies she's been with. So they're like a combo.
Gotcha. It's who you know.
Interesting. It really is,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Who you know.
So, whatever. He kills her.
So he finds out he wants, or he needs to get the grimoire for his master, who may or may not be the devil. They don't. They don't
To
say.
be determined.
I'm guessing probably.
Is that a copyright issue? Why wasn't it ever said? Like, what are we guessing? We're
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Maybe it's Satan. We're not sure.
Trademark.
But to go along with the way he killed the gay gentleman, the master tells him, "Use my eyes to find the grimoire."
And by
So
his eyes.
he rips the lady's eyes out.
That's right. And so
and
he
places
has
them on
them.
his hand.
Yeah, in his hand.
Wow.
Looking
And they move
around,
around.
telling him where
And
to
they
go.
have like
Wow.
the like optic nerves from the
Mhm.
back, like 2 inches of optic nerves on the back of them.
He wasn't sure like how close he had to cut.
Yeah, right. Exactly. They just ripped
often-
off at the same
So the eyes
spot.
lead him back to the house,
Okay.
which is where she's packing up her frilly stockings.
Still.
and stuff.
So many frilly stockings.
Are you timing
So
me?
many.
The Warlock's coming, but are you timing me?
Because I need to get all these.
Yeah, I need all of the
I'm going
crinolines.
to be a designer. This is my designs. This is what women do.
Was
Yeah.
she a designer? She
Nobody
Well, that's
said.
what they were insinuating. That
Well,
she had all these crazy.
Oh, see, I kept
worked
thinking.
at a restaurant.
Oh, did
Well,
she?
to
Yeah.
put her through design school.
Because she was in LA
Yeah, fair
in
enough.
the 80s.
Fair enough.
Fashion.
Fair enough.
Fashion.
Shoulder pads.
Yeah.
The writers were pulling from real life. Right, what you know.
Yeah. Mhm. So she doesn't make it out because he comes back, and he finds a grimoire on a table that they have because obviously he was gay
It's
and
a
had antiques.
Right.
So he like smashes
So all
the
these-
table and rips
yeah.
the planks
And-
up. And
They're all old, like Dutch pieces of furniture that you would like that the pilgrims would have had or something.
But
Right.
in the dialogue, he's like, "All my stuff's over 100 years old. We'll put them in your room because it's all plastic."
Okay. It's funny the
Thanks,
lines you
Zeke.
remember.
That's an important line. We'll put it in your room. It's all plastic. That's,
Yeah.
that's an important line.
Drives the story.
Yeah.
So he comes back. He finds some of the pages, and he curses her.
Was there a reason he cursed her, or just
Yeah.
to be a dick?
She was trying to get away, and she's trying to escape, and she was coming in, and she tried to get away from him.
So for no
He
reason,
could've
let her
Left
go.
her alone. Yeah, she wasn't.
He's just being.
So
a
he
dick.
steals
He's
her
a
charm
warlock.
bracelet. He
Warlocks
steals
are
her
kinda
charm
dicks.
bracelet, which is the most ugliest thing you've ever seen.
I didn't even know that was a bracelet.
Me-
I'm like, what weird artifact is on his hand?
It's so dumb.
it was-
Yeah, it's like a bunch of little earths. It's a bunch of little globes with
And
like
quarters with
lucky charms
holes
on
It's like a
through them.
1989 Pandora,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he takes that and curses her. But do you know what he curses her with? The most horrifying thing that you will
yeah.
ever,
This is-
ever be able to
This is-
imagine.
This is a
the
pretty good
second-
curse,
This is the
to
second
be honest.
problematic thing.
No,
Okay.
this is the most shallow, bullshit, fucked
No,
up
it's
curse.
how they did it.
She can't wear makeup. What is no?
It's how they did it that makes it fucked up.
Okay.
She wakes up in a couple of hours, and
She's aged 20 years.
20 years.
So she's 40.
What?
I know.
What a nightmare.
Her hair's gray and ugly, and it's
it's down to
super
her
long,
knees.
and she has ugly nails that have all grown out
She's
to
got
here.
so many wrinkles. I mean, she looks like she could be actually 70, but she's 40.
She's
40.
40.
Over the hill.
Oh, and she's
Done.
so mad about it.
When you were 20, had you woken up the next day and been 40, you would lose your fucking mind.
I was 21. I woke up with a scar from my belly button to my Mons Venus. Trust me, I was pissed.
but you weren't 40.
No, I was 21 and I had a hot body, and then it got all fucked up because I had to get it all cut open. So, yeah, I was
Well,
mad.
that's what I'm saying. But you weren't 40 though.
I know, but that's what I mean. Like, if I would have been.
Never mind. Sorry.
But the idea that like the worst thing you could do to a woman
Yes.
is like
Make her old.
take
and
her
ugly.
vanity, like age her. Who would want her? She's
Well,
withered.
Who would want
she
her?
starts saying things like, just kill me.
That's
It's
what
like,
she says.
it's like you're fucking 40.
I can't go on. Just kill me.
I was never supposed to be alive this long. I'm 40.
I cannot make the crinoline dresses with my nails like this.
So
Kill me.
the curse ages her 20 years every 24 hours or something.
Yeah.
So they go off looking for the warlock, and they're
the
driving
only way
around.
to reverse the curse is to get back the stupid bracelet that he took.
Well, how do we know that?
Oh, because.
Oh yeah,
Because
I'm
Redfern.
Enter the
showed-
witch hunter.
I'm
Enter
fast
the
forwarding
witch hunter. You are.
because it's just so awful. That whole
witch
plot
hunter
line is so terrible.
I
So
thought
there's-
it was brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun.
Don't you have
It's a
something to
ticking-
sweep?
It's a ticking clock.
It is. You're right.
It lights a fire.
Mm-hmm.
You feel bad for the lady, and it makes. the
Do
war-
I?
And it
I
makes
I
the
didn't feel
warlock.
bad for her.
It makes the warlock that much more of a dick.
Yeah, and it helps the tension because obviously she's got arthritis and shit when she turns 60, so she can't run.
Oh, wait.
That's right, because 20 years every 24 hours.
Right.
That at least is like death is looming. That
Yeah.
makes a little more
Yep.
sense.
Right,
Yeah.
so she does comment on that, but when she first wakes up as 40,
She's like,
and,
I'll just live with it like this.
and
it's
then
fine."
she's like, kill me or whatever.
And then
It
the
just
witch
was too
hunter's
much.
like, no, you're not aged, you're aging.
Yeah.
A woman's worst nightmare.
So he gets out his
So
witch.
there's a lot of cool witch trickery in this. I liked.
Yeah.
He gets out this little sweet compass and he puts it on a stand and he has to find blood from when the warlock came in.
Look out, the parking guys are here.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
I'm just
get
gonna
down.
duck down.
Yeah,
Just duck.
C-3PO.
Just
down.
duck.
Oh,
There
he's
he
like
is.
right in front of the window.
he
Right
had
in
his
front.
yeah.
He got
He's
his
looking
thing
at you.
out.
Yeah, you're good though. I don't think he can see you right
Yeah,
there.
he's-
He had his headlights on. Thank God he turned them off. But
So he scrapes some of the blood with some water and he puts it on this little needle and the needle spins and he's like, the faster the needle moves, the closer he is and it'll show us where he is. So that it's a directional.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool
Could you guys understand what he was saying?
yeah,
because he's British.
Well, he had a thick accent. Plus,
got his light
was-
on.
He was speaking in
He's on to you.
a bygone era,
yeah.
and he's like, "Did they blade any wires?" And the lady's like
Are you a
40.
pirate?
The lady's
She's 40 and she can't
and she's
understand
like,
him.
What?
Did he play?
Did he blade? Was he blading?
Speak up, Sonny. I'm 40.
How did people talk in the old days? Like pirates. We've done our research.
It's all pirates.
Yeah, like he was like Scottish. It was like a Scottish pirate.
He's a Scottish British man.
She's like, I think he did. And they like go through the vacuum, and he
Oh
like,
my God. Yeah, because that's the
Goes
best
to
blood
the
you can
dust.
find. She
Yeah.
vacuumed the blood. Is what she did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, typical 80s, 90s, like, dumb stuff. So they start hunting him, and they get in the car, and they're driving across the desert, and now the warlock has stumbled across some little desert town where there's some child out on a swing, and he's playing with some
He's playing
80s
with a
video
football.
game,
Oh, in his video game. Yeah.
and he's on a
He's
swing
not,
set.
He's not in church. The Warlock can hear the people preaching and singing in church. He's like, why aren't you there? Oh, my dad doesn't want me to go to church. I hate it. Meh. So
And-
now the Warlock's like, oh, yeah.
And he says, I'm a witch. And he's like, boys can't be witches. And the warlock's like, yeah, I can. He's like, well, witches can fly. And he's like, I need something special. And the kid's like, you don't have a broom. And he's like, no.
I
But
need no broom to fly. What do you need? Dun, dun, dun.
yeah, you can help me. So then you find out from the witch hunter that
He needs the rendered fat from a non-baptized male child.
No.
yeah,
No.
yeah.
And he cooks that fat in a little soup can and drinks it.
How else you gonna do it?
How else?
He doesn't have like a piece of like kid fat over his spit, like dripping it out. Like it's like an old bean can.
Go to church, kids. This movie brought to you by the Church of Latter-day Saints. Wow.
And were pilgrims even? Did they do the baptism thing?
I'm sure there was
I thought
always
that
some
was,
form
a
of baptism.
southern-
And
Yeah.
no,
Okay.
because the Catholics baptize the babies. You sprinkle
Okay,
holy water on a
okay.
thing and it's baptized,
So
right? The southern Protestants will dip you. You get
Okay.
washed in the blood.
Okay.
So it's different.
So
That's
the-
right, because in Godfather they have the baptism. That's
Yeah.
right.
So the
I
little
forgot.
kid that you were curious about, the one who's
Fat gets rendered.
right, he was a child actor, and he did a lot of stuff in the early '90s. He was in Warlock, of course. He's in Blind Fury. He was in Baywatch, 21 episodes.
Yes.
He
He's the
played-
kid in Baywatch.
he
Oh,
was-
he was the kid in Baywatch.
the little blonde kid.
He
Little
was-
tiny.
What's his name's kid? I think.
Yeah.
Hobie.
David
He was
Hasselhoff's
Toby?
kid?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Hobie.
Hobie. And
Hobie.
he didn't he like grow up and die of a drug overdose?
No, he's still alive.
Oh, is he?
Oh,
Okay.
I
I'm so
think that was
glad.
in the show.
He stopped. Yeah, maybe. He was an alcoholic.
I don't know, I
He
didn't
was
watch
in
that
The
crap.
Adventures of Ford Fairlane, which is great. He was
Oh,
in
I love that movie.
Thunder in Paradise with Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he stopped acting. That was pretty much it. He did.
Probably went to rehab.
Oh, he was in Step by Step.
Oh yeah, I love Step by Step.
He
I
did
knew
all
that.
he was in Step by Step.
Yep, I loved that show.
And then that was all. That was it.
Wonder what he's doing now. Like when people do that and they quit, it's like, I'm going to manage a Starbucks. Like, I wonder what
He-
that's like.
A lot of them become real estate agents.
He keeps zooming up to the window looking for people violating parking. That's what he keeps doing. That's where he's at.
He is. He's
He's got a
zooming back.
helmet now and a hover round.
I'm just
or
going to
whatever it is.
hunker down behind this cutout a little bit more. You guys are the best.
There's a Monster Squad cutout. It's a little bit bigger.
Okay.
Check it out.
I'm gonna make a dash for it.
We'll let you know.
No, just stay here. You're fine.
Okay.
So we're out in the desert. He now drinks the fat of the child.
Can we talk about how gross that was?
So gross. It was so
I
disgusting.
couldn't watch. I
'Cause he,
literally
like,
went.
gulped it down.
I went like this. I went like-
You think he asked for like a 7-Up or something? Like, can you just
He
switch
just
this out? This is,
Chug that kid.
oh.
but just as rendered fat. Can you imagine chugging Crisco? That's what that looked like. It looked
it
like
was so
gross.
chicken lard.
You know what it looked like? It looked like when you open a can of like cream of mushroom Campbell's soup.
Yes, like gelatinous.
Yeah.
It was so
Yes.
gross, and he just
Oh.
chugged it.
So
How many takes did he have to do? I
I'm
wonder?
sure he didn't really.
How much
chug
was
it.
this guy getting paid?
well, he was pretty
enough.
famous. So
But because it's a tiny desert town, they blamed it on the coyotes.
that's right. Yeah.
So it's kind of Jaws, where
Yeah.
they went hunting for coyotes.
Yeah, and that was another thing. It's like, so the townspeople get all pissed off and go out and kill an innocent coyote. Well, I don't know how innocent they all are.
Oh,
But
they're innocent babies. I'm a member.
They-
Of,
they
I'm a
threw a-
member of PETA.
They
so.
threw a dead coyote on the
I
ground.
know,
It
and I
had
don't
a
know if it's
full
fake or
belly,
not.
though. It did have a full belly.
Did it?
I couldn't look because I was hoping that it was just a stuffed animal, but
I think
it was
had
the
to have been.
It
80s,
was the 80s.
and they didn't.
They didn't have that little thing. No animals were hurt in the making
Yeah.
of this. Oh no!
I don't know if they
notice.
did or
I
not,
don't
but
know. It could
again,
have been
the
fake.
80s.
It could have been fake.
So the witch hunter and the lady, the old lady, show up, and immediately he's like, "Was the boy baptized?"
and the mom. So right. So first of all, now it's not been 24 hours yet. It's still daytime of that next day, and he's killed the kid, rendered the fat, learned to fly, and they found out that they were killing a coyote, thinking that the boy had died. It's very quick. It's a very quick.
So he goes, the Redfern goes and asks the mother, like, was the boy baptized? And then they find out that, yeah, that whole thing.
And he wasn't about. His father wouldn't let me. Like we never get to meet the dad, but they do disparage him quite a
They
bit.
threw him
Who wants to
all
meet
under
him?
that.
Obviously,
Yeah, at this point, right?
Obviously, he's not a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah, he's
He is
not.
out. He's out and about, catting around town.
Yeah. So then we go back on the hunt. Redfern goes
Well,
back.
Redfern's kind of upset because he knows
The baby's
what's
dead.
happened.
I mean,
Well,
the
he
kid's
knows
dead.
why.
Yeah.
He's
What's
like,
happened.
well, he's gonna
Yeah.
be a lot harder to track now because he
Yeah.
can fly.
And so he finds himself a barn to go hunker down in.
As you do.
No, he found the other bits. He found some more bits of the Grand Grimoire.
Yeah, so he finds some Amish farmhouse outside of L.A.
Yeah.
Obviously.
No, they're in Colorado at this
Colorado,
point.
okay,
But
yeah.
and they're Mennonites.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's check our privilege here.
Yeah.
Mennonites.
Okay. But I want to know what Mennonites moved to the desert in California. They're like, we're leaving.
He's like, "Oh, Pop, I can't do that. I got a schedule to keep. I'm a '80s Mennonite."
I gotta fix this tractor.
Yeah, because there's like his son who's
Old-timey.
and there's the old timey with the beard with that like Mennonite
But
beard.
it's a bunch of cool like mythology that's in this film. It's kind of fun. It's like with the witch stuff. It's kind of fun. Like the cream is soured. Oh, I just got the cream in the yesterday. It shouldn't be sour. So cream that sours overnight means that there's a witch upon us.
Oh.
And then a horse.
One of the signs.
Is
Yeah.
one of the signs, right?
Yep.
And then so he goes to check on the horses, and the horse is sweating, and it's in the morning. And if a horse sweats in the morning, it's another sign.
Okay.
And then the woman is cooking. What is she cooking?
Eggs and like they didn't break or something.
Something happened in the
Yeah.
kitchen. I can't remember, but that was another sign.
And so he's trying to tell his grown kid, hey, there's a witch about, blah, 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 there's a witch, blah, blah. And the kid's like, we don't believe all this old stuff, Dad.
Pops, come on.
Yeah.
I got payroll to keep.
I gotta go to Tashi Station and get some power converters.
And so then here comes the witch hunter. And again, he's dragging around this girl. And she's wearing like a fluffy half sweater and like an aluminum foil skirt.
And
Not
she's
really.
40, keep in mind.
Just because she's 40 doesn't mean she got new clothes. Like,
Oh, no,
ke-
she's
she
in
kept her
something
19
black now. She's in like the black hose with the white sneakers and the leather
her
skirt.
formal.
At least
So-
something more suitable for her
Yeah,
age.
it was actually a black sparkly. It's a black sparkly skirt and a leather jacket.
Right.
So
As 40-year-olds wear.
Business
Yeah.
casual.
Formal
in the-
clothes.
So
Yeah.
the older Mennonite, he knows that they have been bewitched. So he gets a bucket of paint and he paints a sign on the barn. And now enter the hunter and the 40-year-old. They drive past and they see the sign and they stop.
So they're going after him. What?
Can we talk about how crazy he stops that car?
Oh my God!
He
just ask her
freaks
to-
the fuck out. Stop the car for God's sakes.
He's from 1691. Why would you
grabs the
stop?
steering
Yeah,
wheel.
and he jams the brakes. It's like, whoa, pirate!
You don't even know what this thing is, and you've been here for like 3 days.
You just asked me to go that way. I would have went that way.
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Turn. I would have turned.
Slow down and make a U-turn. But he grabs the steering wheel and they almost crash into a tree.
Go get her.
It was
It's intense.
a little bit of overkill. So they go.
Oh, and then he runs across the field to get to the barn. It's like, you could drive there, dude. You could drive to the barn.
Yeah,
and
that
keep
is
in
true.
mind, your passenger, she's 40.
Yeah.
She can't run across that.
No.
No. Mm-mm.
No. There's a lot of things she shouldn't be doing at that age.
Wait. Is this where?
Wearing leather jacket.
Is this where she wakes up as a 60-year-old? Where does she wake up as the 60-year-old? In a minute.
Oh,
No, I
she
think
might
it's
be
where
60
yeah,
at this point.
she's 60
Oh
at
my
this point.
God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
This is
overnight she turns 60. She gets the big long hair again, but now she's 60 and it looks like she's 83 years old. Like it's not 60, it's 83.
Right.
And of course she's again like and she gets out of the car and can't walk. That's what she's like hunched over and she's like I'm 60. And she's like a fucking hunchback. Dude, what?
Tell me she's not still in a short skirt.
Yeah,
because,
oh yeah, the whole
oh,
time
yeah.
she's in this like
A 60-year-old woman who looks 83 has
I know.
no business
I
being in
know.
a short skirt.
especially if she's wearing like black pantyhose and white sneakers.
Yeah.
What's
High
a
heels.
warlock to do? There's no
Yeah.
high heels. They were black.
Oh,
They
no.
were white
Everything's
sneakers.
flashing
okay.
right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and she had like a scarf on or something. It was very
You
strange.
got to accessorize.
Yeah.
You had to
No
cover
matter
the,
what.
the neck.
yeah,
you got to
that
cover the
goozle.
neck.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
décolleté. You gotta cover
Yeah.
that décolleté.
So now
I
that
feel
she's
like, I feel like this is one of the more fun parts of the movie, though, because this is when shit starts happening. You know, like
and I don't remember much after this, to be honest with you. I always,
What?
I know I always get the rest of it all convoluted because this is the best part.
this is so he finds the other piece of the manuscript and he goes up there
And he's in the attic, and they hammer him in the attic. They lock the hunter in the attic, and he'd put salt on his whip because witches can't buy
on
salt.
his drive. He's been
Putting salt.
treating his leather with salt, you know, and which is pretty cool. It's another witch thing that's kind of fun.
It's super cool, but you'd think he would have already done that.
That makes
Like
me want to
it-
do it to my couches now. But now that I know about
Right,
witches, I just want to salt treat everything.
Yeah.
This is scary.
Yeah.
Like before he got there, he would have already had his salt.
It would have.
Yeah.
Maybe he's
But
just adding
it
a little
was- in the-
extra.
In the
you know.
18 or 1700s, salt's probably tougher to.
That's what he said. He
Yeah.
goes, "This is all yours."
He's like,
Yeah.
oh my
yeah,
god.
she gives him this big thing of salt, and he's
Morton
like, "This
salt.
is all yours."
You must be rich.
You're
Yeah.
a wealthy man.
Yeah, exactly. So they end up getting him out. Yes.
The more of the lore. So he told them
pennies.
to put pennies in their mouth
To
for
ward
like
off any-
errant magics that may come from the warlock.
and
pretty
slip
cool.
into your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Oh,
in her
no.
on her 60-year-old, 80-year-old face.
So he's hunting around the attic looking for whatever the warlock was looking for, and he finds one page, and he's like, he was here. He left this page, and she's like, well, why would he just leave one page? He's like, he would not. So he
Bum,
has
bum,
him
bum.
bum. So he has him bring up the door, lock me in, and of course the warlock's waiting for him. And he tears the piece of paper in half before that, and the piece
To
of paper
check. Yeah.
to check, and it magically reforms, so you can't destroy it.
So they have a little fight up there. The warlock gets out. They fight a little more. They end up outside. And then they're
He whips his leg though and goes for a ride. But when he whips his leg into the salt, it's like
Like burns him.
burns him,
yeah, and
there's,
so
like, smoke.
he flies into like the animal barn.
Whoa.
What?
He flies.
He flies.
We got to talk about that.
About his terrible wire work?
About the worst special effects you will
Ever.
ever see in your life.
They are terrible. The wire work is terrible.
They just like a cutaway of him from the bust up, from the chest up, and there's like a wind machine. I'm going flying.
But they move him around on the screen, and
and the dimensions are off. They have him fly out of the barn, and he's like, the dimensions are wrong, like it's not the right size,
Very weird.
and he's outside the barn like, woo, like it's so terrible.
very green, so they didn't key him out properly
Yeah.
on the green screen, and they just move him around like a little kid
Yeah,
on iMovie, like just moving a effect around. It is so funny.
I
It
love
is
the
so
idea of
funny.
people watching it back after and being like, "No, it's good. It works.
it's as good as
fine."
we can do.
If I was the director, I'd be like, okay,
took
we're gonna
us-
cut here, we're gonna cut here. We'll just eat
Yeah, but
that
they
cost.
thought
we'll
that
eat it.
shit was
It took us a
great.
week to render this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not getting rid of that fucking hard work. We did that. When he does his magic, it reminds me of like the Disney Sorcerers in the Stone.
That I kind of like.
It
was
reminds me
cool.
of
I like
Sorcerer in
that.
the Stone.
Yeah, it worked.
But
Mo-
when he flies,
Yeah, most of the effects I think hold up
Yeah.
and are pretty cool. But boy, that flight! Oh
Yeah,
my
there's
goodness.
some that don't. But the animation's cool.
Oof.
It's still fun.
yeah,
It's
the
still fun.
animation's fun, but the flying is terrible.
Because it's witch fire. You don't know what it looks like. It could
Yeah.
look like
Yeah,
that.
that was
and
cool.
it's
So
kinda-
now we get to the long part of the movie.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do. They have to go to they go to the airport.
No,
They go to the
you're missing a bunch of
You
the witch
are
stuff.
missing the
So
best
she's
part.
got it. She's 80 years. She's 60 years old. She's losing. She's gonna die. So
Oh my god, I forgot about that. She's
Yeah.
60.
So he obviously gets away, but they try to get the cuffs on him, and the Mennonite tries to help, but he's like, "Don't look in his eyes. He'll kill you if you look in his." So then the Mennonite starts bleeding from the eyes, which is actually kind of cool.
Their eyes meet.
Yeah, their eyes meet. So the witch hunter has to help the Mennonite, and then the Warlock's getting away, and he's taking off his little thumb toe cuffs, and he's barefoot this time, and he's hobbling around.
Because one of them's still connected. to
Yeah,
his
one of them's
toe.
still
Oh, no.
connected.
So he's
And of course, he ends up in a train yard
rail yard.
because there's always a train yard.
Always.
Yeah.
Always next to a barn.
Yeah, near anything, right?
the witch hunter's like, take this hammer. These are brass nails. Find any
Footprints.
and hammer them in, and
He
you
can be
can hurt
crippled.
them. Yeah.
This is like another. I thought this was
Yeah,
one of
it
the
was
coolest
really
parts
neat.
of the movie. So she goes and she finally finds a footprint and she puts it
With
in
her
and drives
6-year-old
it.
eyesight, how could she?
I know. Luck. She's 60. Remember?
I can't see.
Yeah. So she hammers this nail in and he screams bloody.
You hear this scream
And he's
out
on
of
a train.
nowhere.
He's
Because
like
he's
a,
barefoot and it's going into his feet. by
and so
magic.
he's in a train car somewhere, trying to get away from them.
And she finds another one. She nails it, and he's screaming. And he like pries up a plank, and he puts the plank on his bare feet to prevent any more magic nails. But then he fell into the dune.
He had fallen to some sand. She saw his head print, his ear. She saw the imprint of his ear that was like literally sticking off the head.
What a fun talent.
It was like this, and then his ear
was his
went.
nose.
"Ugh." I thought that was his ear. It
I know
looks
the
like.
outline of that face.
It was cool though. I like that.
And so
sequence.
she
It was
nailed
fun.
into his head, and he's like,
And then he passes out. But then her 60-year-old ass can't catch up to the train because it starts
the
moving.
train's moving like 3 miles an hour, and he's laying out the train car with her
Charm.
with her charm bracelet. So she has to get it back so she doesn't become actual 80. I know what would even happen.
And she's like hobbling along too because
She
she's
falls
so
like
old.
6 times.
Oh my god, she's like, oh my knee, I'm so old.
It's like the longest sequence in the world.
Oh my god, and she can't. It's so terrible.
Just get the goddamn thing, will you please?
So she grabs it from him, and he grabs her arm, and she stabs him or
No,
screams at him.
they just fight a little bit, and then she falls, and he looks at her as he's pulling away, and she's like, "Well, fuck, I'm dead. I didn't get my charm."
Oh.
And then she looks over and she sees that it's on the hammer. She got it.
Yay.
Yeah, so she gets
She's a kid
saved.
again.
She gets saved from being anything more than 20.
Oh.
I know. Isn't that a nice thing?
Every woman's dream is to go back.
I know.
Right?
Yeah, it sure
now
is.
she knows.
These men know. They know.
They do. They do. They really understand what we want. Yeah.
Tell us. Yes.
And we want gays, not queers. That's what we want.
Right.
Big difference.
Right.
Big difference.
So
But she had a little Han Solo in her. She's like, well, now that I'm young, I'm out.
Yeah.
You know, here's my car.
She
Here's
did.
my credit card.
Yep.
Pay me what you owe
Fuck
me.
off.
Yep, she told him to go ahead, and he said, "I
He's
can't.
like, but I need you.
You got to drive your car."
The British Navy's on. Oh wait, no, that's a different.
Your dialect work is spot on, by the way. I just want you to know.
Thanks.
You haven't seen
Sounds
it.
so
You don't
authentic.
know.
No, it just sounds so authentic. I feel like I'm back in like the 1600s. I just had
But
to
he
compliment
tells
you.
her you can't leave because when this Bible of the devil is erected, it will reveal the true name of God, and if you utter it front to back and back to front, it will undo everything. It's the uncreation of the world. So not just this world, all worlds.
Anyway, super
pretty
dramatic.
heavy.
Just like men.
Just like
And-
white men in the 90s.
So dramatic. So they go to the airport. Oh wait, backtrack a bit. He took the weather vane off of the
Oh, yeah.
farmhouse,
That was fun.
and it's like
That was cool.
3.5 feet tall, giant weather vane, and it's got his blood. It's got the witch's
'Cause
blood
he
in it.
javelined it into
Yeah,
his back.
at one
It
point.
was
Of course
awesome.
he did.
Yeah, and it's
Of
got all
course.
these like crinolines or whatever you want to. It's got all these like fancy little bumps on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
What do you call that?
I know.
I
I'm
don't know.
seeing what you're. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they go to get on the
like an
plane.
arrow.
It's like planes, trains, and automobiles with witches.
Dude,
Yeah, it's exactly that.
they go to the airport. She
But
gives her
not
the
Kevin
credit
Bacon.
card. Then she unplugs the credit card machine so that the woman's like, "It's not working." Bloop bloop bloop.
So here's your tickets.
Yeah, and the next thing you know, they're walking through the airport, and she goes,
Does that
"She goes,
work?
give me your knife, give me your knife." And he's like, "Why?" And she's like, "Cause you can't carry it on the plane." And
But
she
she puts
shoves
it
it
in
in
her
her bag.
She can carry it on the plane.
give,
yes.
give me your whip. And
She's
she
a
puts-
woman. No one sees her. It's fine.
So now they're walking almost to the plane, and he's got the weather vane on his back like a sword, and she's like, "You can't take that on the plane." Like
That was another one of my
whoa.
favorite moments, though, when she gets on the plane with the weather vane, and the stewardess is like, "Oh, want me to check that? Want me to take that for you, sir?" And he's like, "Over my rotting corpse." It's fucking great.
And the girl's like, "Just give it to her."
It's a family heirloom.
It's a family. And the steward, like the stewardess. It's the 80s. When the flight attendant takes it, and she's like, "Oh," and like goes and finds a spot for it
Yeah.
somewhere in an overhead bin.
Hey, this shotgun is a family heirloom. I gotta bring it on the plane.
Employee of the month.
Oh
Yes.
my god! Oh, the
I
80s.
miss those 80s airlines.
Gosh,
Oh,
and
it's
somebody
an
was
over the
smoking.
top.
Some
Oh.
dude
Yeah,
was
some
super
dude's
like-
smoking.
So we get in some because so the Warlock, she sees the Warlock at the airport because obviously he can fly, but I mean not across.
If
the
you can
country.
take Delta, why wouldn't you?
Why
Get those
fly
sky
to-
miles.
I don't want to fly to Boston by myself. So he's getting on the plane too, but he can't get on. So they're in flight, and some dude's lighting up a smoke because it's the 80s, 90s, whatever, and the flame is blue. It's more like witchery. And he sees some guy dripping cream into his coffee, but it's all clumpy. So a blue flame, a flame that lights pure blue. We are bewitched. So he starts freaking out again, and he searches the plane.
Yeah.
and it's one of-
Convinces the lady to search the plane. He's like, I'll go this way, you go that way. And she's like, dude, it's fine.
But it's one of it's the biggest goddamn airplane I've seen.
Yeah,
because
double
it has
decker.
this spiral
Yeah,
staircase.
I miss those.
Yeah,
I was never
it's-
on one, but I miss them.
I think they still do them for international.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe. International, maybe.
So anyway, they fly to Boston to find the last pages. They're
Which
in
is
some place
in a
consecrated.
church. On a consecrated ground, hopefully.
Yeah.
Of course.
So they go to some church, and this is my favorite. So I guess that the witch hunter is from Boston, so he knows his way around Boston. So he tells the cabbie where to go, and the cabbie's like, "Brian, you don't need to tell me where to go."
I've been here since 1958, and the guy's like, well.
So they end up finding the church where this is, where it's supposed to be, and the priest is literally walking out, and he looks like what's his name from Kids in the Hall? He
Yeah.
looks like
Kevin McDonald.
Yep.
Kevin
McDonald.
McDonald.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it obviously isn't, but he
Should be.
he walks out, and they're like, "We need to go in right now," and he's like, "I'm sorry, can't it wait until tomorrow? Come back in the morning." And they
Do
say,
the voice. Do the voice.
"Which voice?"
He's like, not if you want old creation to
We're here for the Grand Grimoire.
This is what he says.
It's
He
like a
literally
code word
he
to get
doesn't
a
say any
speakeasy.
of that shit. He literally only says, "We're here for the Grand Grimoire," and
and
then
the priest is like, why didn't you say so?
and lets them back in and starts telling them all about what used to be there and what might be there. Takes them to the basement, lets them rummage around and shit. Like they don't even know each other's names. There's no
Yeah.
there's no background check. There's no nothing. So Yeah. Anyway,
It's fine. It's fine.
they let him in.
It's fine.
They let him in. And he's like, finally, he's like, well, so you're document hunters, right? You're document researchers or something, right? And he never once questions them. Not until they get into the bottom of the fucking basement.
He trusted them. Granois, whatever it is.
Yeah, it was like a secret password.
Yeah.
It was like, I'd go, open sesame.
He kind of looked like Dorf, the guy that was in Dune, the creepy one,
The first Dune or the second Dune?
the original.
Terrible
only,
Kyle MacLachlan.
Only Dune.
No, the new one was really
Wow.
good.
Wow, dude.
Anywho,
And also The Exorcist 3.
Oh,
That Dorf.
yeah, he did
He
look
sort of looked like him.
Brad Dourif,
I
yeah.
was like,
yeah,
is that the same dude?
I'm
But it
so
wasn't.
glad you brought up Exorcist 3 because that's fucking awesome.
Okay.
That was his, like, he was so fucking good.
anywho, moving on.
We're going to nerd out.
So, they find out that the grimoire is in a graveyard, in a cemetery somewhere, in a tomb with a pentagram on it. So they've got to go find the tomb with the pentagram. And then the warlock shows up at the priest's house
hell
with
breaks
his
loose.
pregnant wife, which I thought priests were celibate.
They're
so
supposed to be.
I guess that
Not a
all
good
priests.
priest.
I
Not
guess
in-
it was an
not in
Episcopal.
Boston.
It must have been Episcopalian. It must have been not Catholic. So
This is Boston.
Yeah.
he goes and threatens the family and the babies and the pregnant wife, and
He's like, unless you want your children to be born like cold slugs of flesh, like,
Dead,
Some-
basically dead.
yeah.
That is so descriptive and specific.
yeah. Julian
was.
Sands was great. He played such a good bad
he
guy.
was an amazing dick. Like,
Yeah,
just what a dick.
Yeah.
just cold. He was really good at being just cold.
Because you
and
wanted
icy.
to identify with the witch. You're like, yeah, witches, yeah. And then you're like, oh,
No.
they were hunting this guy for a reason.
They're like parking meter maids. They're fucking vicious, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
So I'm sure that the priest and the wife die, and then he moves on to find them.
Do you think they died?
Yeah, totally.
No,
You
they
don't-
did not. I
you
think
don't
he
think
let him
he-
go.
He kept the word?
I think
I
he
don't
kept
know.
the word. I don't think he died.
Because
Because he had to tell them. He had to tell them where that they were looking for. So that's how he got to the graveyard.
He was going to end everything, all worlds.
Right. Why would he
So,
have to
like,
kill
why
them?
bother?
Right.
And he was probably in a rush.
Then why did he curse the girl with age?
Because that was earlier.
Yeah, that was
And
way early.
that's
Now-
what.
now
And
the
he
mo-
hates women.
Now the movie's
He's a
gotta end.
misogynist. Yeah.
Oh wait, this is another part of the movie that definitely wouldn't pass the Bechdel test. So she keeps giving Mooney cow eyes to the witch hunter, and like thinking that like they're in the middle of running away from a warlock to save the world, and she's like at him and doesn't understand. Like she's confused when he's not reciprocating.
Yep.
Like, bro, he's from like hundreds of years ago, and also, you got some shit to do. Well, you got what's you got?
Is that Love Connection?
What? Yeah, I know when we're all 20, we horny, but get it together.
He's probably not into doggy either. He probably doesn't even know it exists.
No, he has no
So-
idea.
He was a pilgrim.
Yeah, exactly.
They wore sheets with holes.
Nose
you
to
know?
nose, toes to toes.
Gross. So,
Yeah. Just what I've heard.
they
What's be the switchery? Why are you moving like that?
put your panties back on. So, you
Over my rotting corpse.
You've obviously never seen Outlander. Yeah, there is no tartan that gets in the way. So what happens?
I don't know.
Oh yeah,
They
that's
go
what
to
I
the
mean.
graveyard. They go to the graveyard. So it's a little bit of a poltergeist situation where they're moving the graves because it's been consecrated. So they think it's safe from the warlock, but some of the graves have been moved to new ground that hasn't been consecrated.
And they realize that the tomb that the pages are in are actually in dun 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 Redfern's tomb. So
He's holding them.
and he's holding those pages. So the guy who's there, the witch hunter, had been buried with the pages.
What?
What?
Creepy.
What are the odds?
I know. So he had to look face to face with his dead body.
Kind of freaked them out.
Yeah, it did.
I would freak
Of course,
you
the
out.
warlock shows up. They fight.
tussle.
She runs off with part of the pages. He runs off with other parts of the pages. The warlock is killing them.
Well, he says, "You want the pages? Come get them if you're able. If you're able." And he challenges them to a straight up fight. He's like, "No magic. Come get them."
That's fair.
And he has to use magic to win.
Well,
He's a warlock.
he's a
bad
warlock,
guy.
but I will say
Then why didn't he
this.
kill the priest and his wife?
But you know what? Look, so they tussle, and he's beating the shit out of the warlock. But they go over the wall, and he takes the warlock's face and presses it down to the consecrated ground, so his face is burning. So that's kind of cheating too, a little bit. So that's when the warlock is like, "I'm changing the rules."
2 wrongs.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
So he tosses the girl into the ocean. Oh yeah, she's got diabetes.
She's got diabetes.
She's
Forgot to
got.
mention.
Yeah, I forgot.
Oops.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
Forgot
oops.
to mention that.
So she's got her like insulin needles with her.
Right.
So she decides to fill them with salt water and then jams them in the warlock's neck. And he.
Right as he's about to say the name,
Name
he's
of
like,
God.
"I know your name."
Oh yeah, that's right. He's bringing
Very
on
dramatic.
the
It's
end
very
of
dramatic.
the world. He's
All the
bringing it
worlds.
on. Yep.
All worlds.
So, and then she stabs him in the neck with some salt water, and his veins pop out of his head, and he,
Gets charred.
yeah,
crispy.
and turns into this like.
The effects were pretty good. I
Yeah,
gotta say,
it's
they
true.
held up pretty
Yeah.
well.
That
It
was
pretty
good.
well. It wasn't as gross as we're making it sound.
No, that was
Okay,
good.
okay.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It just makes the flying that much worse.
Yes.
Yeah.
By comparison.
So
yeah.
then, how does it end?
He, the witch hunter, smashes
His face.
gross, burnt up face into powder, and
she
he
buries-
kind of tornadoes into his
Well,
casket.
they have a moment. He
They-
has a
they
moment.
were
He,
gonna
yeah,
kiss.
she tries
and
to
right
kiss
before they're
him.
about to kiss, it's just a gust of wind, and he tornadoes back into his
Yeah.
grave.
You know, because she
It's
had to
sweet.
kiss
Oh,
him,
she
right?
has to.
Yeah, she
right.
has to.
She can't help herself.
No, she can't. Exactly. The hero.
I mean,
Right.
she was almost 61, so gotta do it.
Ugh. And then the last scene is her burying it in the Great Salt Flats out.
kinda clever.
west. It's
It's
clever because
really
the
clever,
salt,
yeah.
right? But she buried it like 2 inches deep.
I was gonna say,
wasn't
I
a
would have
foot.
dug a little further down.
It was like in a frisbee. It was like she put it in a frisbee. in the ground.
Elderly woman,
Yeah.
guys.
She's back. No, she's okay now.
Oh,
she went back
okay.
to being 20.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she's back to being hot. That's
Do
why he
better.
could kiss
Then
her
do
now.
better. Right, right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Don't
he could
make
kiss her
sense.
now because duh.
40.
Yeah, 40. But no one in 1690 won't even live to 40.
Not
So
unless you're a witch.
You're 40, you must be a witch.
So, I just feel like you can understand this girl's plight, being chased by a warlock, being chased by the parking meters police.
You've changed my life. Like, I am going to take this movie. I feel like I've seen it, but I need to like spread the gospel.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to have my family over. We're salting our couches.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I'm returning the parking tickets. Honestly, I feel like those are like the pages to the Bible. And
Yeah.
I'm just going to return them
Yep.
back. And I don't want the warlock chasing me anymore, guys. I'm ready to turn myself in.
I like it.
I'm going straight.
I really do. We didn't get your name. I'm sorry.
Oh, Chelsea.
Chelsea. Thank you.
Thanks,
It's nice to meet you, Chelsea.
Well,
Well,
enjoy the movie.
Can I just say before?
Yeah.
yeah.
This was like Terminator, but instead with technology with witchcraft.
Yeah.
Basically.
It's true.
The
He
whole
just
time
wouldn't
travel-
leave.
Same, yeah.
Yeah. He
it was
just,
the same movie.
That's
Yep.
The whole
great.
time I was like, oh my god, this Terminator.
wow, we just need to rewrite a really
Oh my
famous
God, I wanna watch it
movie.
again now. That's great.
Copy paste.
Yeah. Yeah. So, is our, yeah.
Yeah, well, have a good night and watch out for the parking guy.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's out there. It looks like it's clear. I
right.
think you can make it, Chelsea.
Thanks so much. Thanks,
Yeah.
you guys. I appreciate it.
You got it.
Don't
Thank
forget
you.
to rewind,
Oh, I won't.
Be kind.
or we'll charge you and give you a ticket.
Oh my God.
for
No
the
more
one
tickets
fee.
for Chelsea.
Oh my
Well,
God.
that's what I'm saying. Rewind it.
Okay, she will.
Be kind.
I'm going straight.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh my goodness, that door's stuck again. What a day. What a day.
Bye, Chelsea.
There's I don't know if you guys realize this, but there's a group of parking guys out back. I think they're getting drunk or something.
Well, Mayor, you should just go join them.
Well, they're sitting by the back door with their scooters.
Well, I'm going to let you out the front door so you can avoid them.
I like the front door much better.
All right, bye, Mayor.
Bye.
See ya. Oh, you guys, let's call it a day.
Let's call it a day. I think you're supposed to work today.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, not even supposed to be here today.